Throughout art history, there have been many mediums used. From ceramic sculpture to oil painting, the possibilities can be endless. One of my favorites, watercolor, can be a bit difficult and even a bit daunting to work with. Although it can be complicated, it can be done by anyone wishing to do so. My speech will go over the materials needed, the step-by-step process, and a bit of history behind watercolor painting. Before we get into how to paint a watercolor painting, we need to know a little background. Watercolor dates back to around 4000 BCE and has been used by many civilizations, from the Egyptians to the Europeans, and many other places all over the world. A few notable watercolor artists include Winslow Homer, J.M.W. Turner, Georgia O'Keeffe, and even some works have been done by Vincent van Gogh. Some famous watercolor paintings include Before the Snowfall by Bob Ross, Lake Geneva by J.M.W. Turner, The Bather by Winslow Homer, Sky Above Clouds 4 by Georgia O'Keeffe, and Newton by William Blake. When painting with watercolor, it's important to be sure that you are using the correct paper. Most standard paper uses wood shavings and a small bit of cotton to keep it thin, while watercolor paper uses cotton intertwined in the threads to ensure that it will be more absorbent for your painting. Now we can discuss the supplies needed. You will need a paint palette with enough space for each of your colors and room to mix if necessary. You will need large brushes for painting on water and your background, and small brushes for detailing. You will also need watercolor paper, paint colors of your choice, and a cup for water. Once you have all of these supplies, you can begin your watercolor painting. Start by adding a bit of water to each of your globs of paint and mix it together to create your desired color and shade. Once you have your paint prepared, you can start putting water on your paper. Using a wet-on-wet technique will ensure that you have blended your colors in an effortless way. After you have brushed your water on the paper, you can begin applying your paint. Load your brush with the color of your choice and begin laying it wherever you feel is necessary. Continue filling the wet page with your desired colors until you have a complete background. Once you have completed your background, you can go in and add water where you desire the color to be lighter, or you can go in with more pigment where you want the color to be darker. After all of these steps, let your painting dry completely, and you have successfully created your own watercolor artwork. If you still feel like something is missing from your artwork, you can go on the dried painting and add pen and ink, or more detail with smaller brushes and paint. In conclusion, while you might think painting with watercolor is difficult or even impossible, the reality is that by following these few simple steps, anyone can do it. I hope by listening to this speech, you will realize how easy it is for you to create an amazing piece of artwork on your own.